Hey, what's up, y'all? My name is Ryan, and welcome to the Fish Pond. Now, if you don't know what the Fish Pond is, it is a 4-week experience where we will be connecting you to other incoming freshmen, along with answering some of your biggest questions. Now, with that being said, some of the topics we're going to cover includes community, time management, personal health, and roommates. But today, we're going to be talking about community. So I'm going to go pick up some of my friends, bring them back here, and we'll talk more about that. See you in a minute. Oh wait, forgot y'all. Let's bring y'all along. All right, well, this is about to be a journey, so buckle up. Let's get it. Okay, so we just got to Jacob's. I'm going to FaceTime real fast and then try to get in the car with us. So here we go.
What's up, Ryan?
Jacob, hey, you wouldn't believe this right now,
What?
but I'm at your house. So
No, you're not.
I am, yeah. So come on, let's hop in the car. We're gonna go somewhere.
You sure?
Yeah, just
All right, let's
don't
go.
ask questions. Just come on.
Okay, bye.
Alright, bye. What up, man?
What's up, dude? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Safety first. I like
Safety
it.
first.
I like it. Well, you're probably wondering why you're in this car right now.
Yes,
I didn't
I'm-
give you much information.
I'm hoping I'm safe.
I don't know. You may or may not be. We're gonna see what happens.
Okay.
But there is good news about this.
Okay.
You are going to be featured on the first ever episode of the Fish Pond.
Let's go.
Have you heard much about the Fish Pond?
I'm a big fan of the Fish Pond.
So you must be
actually.
excited.
I
You
am.
must be excited.
I'm very excited.
So, on this episode specifically, we're going to be talking about community.
Okay.
And so, Jacob, I know you're a big community guy yourself.
Yes.
I do want to hear, just give me a kind of a timeline about maybe some of the communities that you've been involved with
Okay.
and just some of the things you've been involved with in your time in college.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I started off as a wee little freshman a couple of years ago, and
Oh.
I got involved with the best church on the planet, Brazos Fellowship. Would highly recommend. But
yeah.
I got involved there, started leading worship for the college ministry, and then that bled into Sunday mornings a little bit. Then I actually took an internship slash part-time job for a year at Brazos Fellowship, which was amazing. Besides that, I interned at Morgan Stanley, which was pretty awesome. I'm involved in the Mays Business School, which is where I currently attend my scholastic my school. And I'm not smart. Let's just not act like I am. And then I actually did the club golf team for a
Nice.
few semesters, which was super fun. But most importantly, I was seriously dating when I got into college and am now officially married. Got
Heck
married
yeah.
a few months ago.
Married. Dude, what is it like being a married man? I just want to know.
It is unbelievable.
Yeah.
I would recommend marriage to any and everybody.
Okay, so you were on the club golf
Yes,
team. What was that
yes.
like? Was it like celebrity status or? I feel like
Very-
I'm hanging with the celebrity right now.
No, very far from. It was super fun. I really wanted to join it because I enjoy playing golf and I wanted to stay competitive with it. But more importantly, I wanted to meet people that maybe live differently than I did. And dude, it was just fun because we were able to connect through golf, but that wasn't where our relationship ended.
We're going to continue the discussion, but I figured we would probably get a couple more people involved in this
Cool.
discussion as well. So what do you think?
I love it.
Haley?
Haley, let's go.
Haley?
Perfect.
Sweet. You want to text her real quick?
Yes, I
Because,
will.
you know, texting and driving, not really supposed to do
Yes, sure.
that. All right, cool.
Hey.
Haley, what is up? How are you doing?
Doing good.
Good, good. Well, do you know why you're here?
I do not.
You do not know where you are going to be on the first ever episode of the Fish Pond. So congratulations, you made it. You can now say your acceptance speech for whatever awards you're going to get now. But,
I'd like to thank my
conscious message.
mom.
Awesome. Well, so this first video that we're going to be shooting is going to be about community. And so I just want to hear from you real quick. What are some of the communities that you've involved yourself in since being a part of college?
So going into college, I didn't really know like what I wanted to be a part of, and so I found my biggest and most like supportive community at Brazos Fellowship. like right before quarantine happened, I got plugged into a Bible study and they became like my instant family. I don't like referring to them as my church friends because they're not just my church friends, they're like my best friends inside of the church or outside of it.
See, there are good things that are coming out of COVID-19.
Yes.
So that's definitely a win. Zoom seems to be the one thing that we like, the staple of 2020,
Yeah.
right?
For sure.
So what are some ways that y'all stayed connected through Zoom and like cool activities and stuff that you found through that?
Well, we played a lot of Game Pigeon games. We played Secret Hitler.
We played Secret Hitler.
Yes, we did.
That's right.
It was just like really good because even if we didn't have like a reason to be Zooming, we would just hop on and we would be on for like hours at a time.
It's like being in a high school relationship, like
Honestly.
a 10-hour FaceTime call.
FaceTime call, yeah.
All night.
All night. You wake up the next morning, they're right there with you.
Exactly.
Oh man, well that's incredible. That's definitely a cool testament to true community. But right now, we're going to pick up one more person. In fact, so I'm going to give you the duties, Haley, because I know you know Mick. We're going to go pick up Mick and
Let's
continue
go.
the conversation, where we're going to all actually meet up and have a panel discussion where we get to talk more about community.
Nice.
So,
Cool.
I'm down.
That'll be awesome. So, anyways, on to Mick we go. Can you call her?
Yeah.
Cool. Hopefully she's awake, honestly.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's
I know she's asleep around
It's-
this hour.
it's
3 o'clock.
3:30
I know.
in the afternoon.
That's tough. That's usually Mick nap time.
Hey,
so,
Mick, we're on our way to
Hey,
come
she's
get
awake.
you.
She's awake.
Okay, we'll see you in a little bit.
How are you?
I'm good. How are y'all?
Good. Kind of got a party in here, so be ready.
Okay.
So, congratulations. You were on the first ever episode of The Fish Pond.
Heck yeah, we made it.
You made it, yeah. I gave Haley a couple seconds to talk about her acceptance speech for whatever Oscar she's going to win later
Oh.
on in life. So if you
Nice.
want a second for that, 1 second.
Yeah,
Yep, all right, it's over.
Yeah, okay.
But
Well
anyways,
done. That was well thought out.
Yeah.
thank you.
what specific community have you been involved in?
So my freshman year, I was in ASC. It's just for girls. It's a Christian organization.
Okay.
A&M and Blinn can be a part of it. I was at Blinn, so super fun.
Nice.
And then also my communities and like my major. I found a lot of friends through just classes and mutual friends who have the same major as I do.
What is
So-
that major?
Yeah, recreation, parks, and tourism. So
Nice.
yeah, I'm
Is
doing
that like
event
Parks and
planning.
Rec?
Parks and Rec?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
Great show.
But I'm doing event planning, so a little different than that.
Well, I will say right now, we're going to meet up with Chris, and he is going to lead us in a discussion about community specifically and how community has impacted our lives. And so that's where we're headed right
Yeah.
now. So,
That's
hey,
awesome.
let's enjoy the ride.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Put the jams on. Justin
That's
Bieber, anybody?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Let's go.
Well, thank y'all so much for joining me today to talk about community. Community is, as we're going to discover today, super important in life in general, but I think that it's just even increased as you're transitioning from one life stage to the next life stage. And so as we talk about community, what comes to mind when you hear the word community, Jacob?
When I think of community, I really just think of partnership in life and the idea that you have people around you and you are around those people where you get to structure your life in a way that you are not alone. And the things that you go through, you will have people by your side, in your corner, cheering you on, helping you, holding you accountable. But also, you will be in their corner, helping them, cheering them on, holding them accountable.
Haley, would you say community in high school is different than community in college?
Yeah, I would say in high school, it's kind of like you just have like this set group of people that you're always around. But in college, you kind of get to like, you have to like step out of your comfort zone and venture out and like find your own community, because you could just like kind of stay to yourself. But in order to find that, you have to be willing to go out and like meet new people and talk to different people, even if you're not comfortable doing it.
In high school, you're stuck seeing the same people all the time. Like, you can't really get away from anybody, and so that's why high school drama seems to be, the term for that. But trust me, there's hope. College, you can go through a class and not talk to anybody. So that's an option you have. But truthfully, though, in college, you really do get the opportunity to choose the people that you want to hang out with.
Okay, so you said you could go through an entire class without talking to someone.
Wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah. So, yeah, that probably won't be great for just your mental health and just for
Right.
life. But
Right.
if you can get away with that, then I would imagine it's possible to go through at least your freshman experience and struggle to find community. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely. I kind of lived in that for a little bit. I started at Blinn my freshman year, and I felt that way as I was sitting in my Blinn classes and I was hearing about all these opportunities, getting involved in different organizations and clubs. But for me, I was like, you know what? I'll be at A&M soon. I don't need to worry about community right now because I'll find my real community when I get to A&M. And truthfully, I was completely wrong.
Haley, where did you look for community going into your freshman year?
So going into freshman year, since I was at Blinn also, I kind of had this mentality like Ryan that like it didn't really matter what I did right now. Like once I got to A&M, that's when it really mattered. Yeah. But like looking back, I definitely should have tried to like find a group or an org that I was like passionate about or that I could find friends in. Because outside of class, like I made sure to like talk to one person at least in each class. I found my friends in class, but other than that, I didn't really have an organization or community that I could just like go to. So I definitely, looking back, would have changed that.
Yeah.
I think it's different for each person. For me personally, I grew up in College Station for the most part. And so I had a built-in community, and not just people I was stuck around, but people that I really enjoyed.
Right.
And so for me, it was hard to really convince myself that it was beneficial to step outside of where I was so comfortable and meet new people. And so it took me a while to find community. I looked in a few different places. Majority was in my church, Brazos Fellowship, and it really took me a year and a half to find the guys that I loved being around, that I got to play music with, that I got to play video games with, that I got to just hang out and do life with. And so it did take a while, and I think most of that was because I was so hesitant towards the beginning of leaving what was so comfortable and finding new people.
Yeah, so I was also at Blinn, and I've also lived here my whole life. So I got the best of both worlds in that, I guess. But for me, at Blinn, like there's organizations that are Blinn and A&M. They're not just A&M. And so find those. So for me, that was ASC, there's Breakaway, there's Impact, there's just so many out there. So find those and get involved as soon as possible.
So why is community so important? Because I hear all of you saying like, man, I wish that I had started earlier, or wish I'd found a way to get plugged in, or it was so good when I finally did find people. Haley, why would you say community is so important?
I think that transitioning into college, it's easy to find yourself like feeling alone. And so having that aspect of community is so important, because not only do you have like friends that are like there to uplift you and support you, you like create a family, and you can always like rely on them, even if it's just like a couple of people. It's still so good to have, because everyone is gonna go through something at some point in college, and just having those people who are cheering you on, it's just the best feeling, because you know you're not alone.
Jacob, you said there was a distinct difference between your first 1.5 years in college and then after you found those guys that you could really like build meaningful relationship with. What was different? What was the outcome for you? How did you look different after you found community?
Well, I think when you are around people, like the guys that I'm around, they are better than me at some things, and I'm better than them at some things. And so when you are around those people, you become more like them, and vice versa. And so I became just a more well-rounded individual, and I found myself growing a whole lot more. I also found that when I was weak, typically they were strong, and when they were weak, typically I was strong. And so there's an accountability aspect to it.
Yeah, that's so good. Okay, as we close things up, Mick, what would you tell freshman Mick? Like, you're coming into this new experience, you're transitioning from high school to college. You said it a second ago, like you lived here, you had that friend group, but you really wanted to kind of redefine who you were and who you were hanging out with. What would you say to freshman Mick, knowing what you know now?
Yeah, I would say like be yourself, be your full self. It's not like high school where there's drama or there's mean girls or cliques or just all these things. In high school, like we've all experienced that. In college, everybody wants to be your friend. They want to seek that community just like you are. So be yourself and experience that fully by getting into community.
Haley, what would you say, like coming into your freshman year, what would you tell Haley?
I would just tell myself to put myself out there and not be afraid to like venture out into different groups that I wouldn't usually see myself in, because if you don't like it, you can never go back to it, and you don't ever have to see those people again. But you'll never know unless you just give it a chance. And like in college, there's so many chances that you get, and you just need to take advantage of all of them.
So good. I love that. I love that. Jacob, what would you tell much younger Jacob?
Far
Jordan?
less wise.
Yeah, so long ago.
Man, I would tell myself, just don't be discouraged. And I tell you, if you are in the process of coming into college, or maybe you've been in college for a little bit, and you're trying to find your community, don't be discouraged if you don't find it immediately. I feel like we've all kind of been sharing the message of get involved early. And yes, we would recommend getting involved early because it will help you find community quicker.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that you're going to find community quickly. And I just want you to know, and I would tell my younger self, just trust that the Lord has you where He wants you, and do the best you can, and realize that sometimes building your community takes time, and that's not a bad thing, because I look back and I would much rather have it taken 1.5 years to have my community that I have now than to have something less than what I have now and have gotten it 3 weeks into college. And so don't be discouraged, don't be dismayed if it is taking you a while. Sometimes that's just the way it goes, and that's not a bad thing.
That's good. That's good. Ryan, take us home. What would you tell younger, less wise Ryan?
Oh man, yeah. I don't know if I'm wise right now. But
I didn't say you were. I just said less wise.
Really, what I would tell myself, and it kind of goes along with what Jacob is just explaining, but make it your own. Like, I feel like we so often, kind of as you were explaining, like so often compare ourselves to others and how they've found their community, and even our friends coming in out of high school, maybe coming with you to College Station or wherever your college town is. Like, I feel like for us, for me, like I looked at my friends and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do whatever they do because I want to stay with them, and what they're doing is not necessarily what's suitable for me and where I'm at in my life.
Well, I love it. I think, and y'all have said this throughout this entire conversation, like it's a process, it's a journey, and you just kind of have to embrace the journey and be willing to go on that ride, wherever that leads and whatever that looks like. And so I'm excited just for the next 4 weeks on this journey with Fish Pond. Thank you so much for joining us for the first one, and we will see you next time.